Focus Plumbing, always at your fingertips.
If the military had dog tags like this, we'd never have to reinstate the draft. It's Trigon time.
Pow! Danny Vegas time, Danny Vegas World segment 3. We are $750,000 into the show. Hey, Katie, man, we are worldwide.
We are.
Your fans are rocking today.
Yeah.
They are here.
Thanks, guys.
We got people, you said you got someone in England. Sorry, man, about yesterday. You know what? Don't worry. 4 years. You got a great team, young team, soccer. They didn't win. They didn't go to the finals. I was rooting for you, though. I was rooting for you. So anyway, okay. I want to get into something else. Something you don't know about. Well, you do know about it. Okay. Obviously, everybody knew you're coming on the show, so we got a few questions.
Okay.
Got a few questions about, one was, and I'll make sure I read it here. Oh, this is interesting. How do we get a second date with...
What?
How do we get a second date?
A second date.
A second date, and this is the question, because... Obviously, to get on a second date, someone has to do something right on the first one.
On the first one. Has to do something very right.
Very right. So, my question is, what does a person have to do right? Well, that's what the person is from Steve. Thank you. What does a person have to do right to where, boy, you better have a lot of confidence, get a second date with Katie? What has to happen?
Oh, that's such a good question.
Are you a no-mistake gal? My wife? She's a no-mistake gal. If you made a mistake on the first one, you don't get a second one.
Yeah, there are some deal breakers that you can't get over. You can't, work that out.
Late.
Yeah.
Not good.
Not good. Second date. Well, what did we do on the first date? I would really focus on that.
Okay.
So in terms of, well...
let me go somewhere else. Are you a modern gal that, I will meet you at the restaurant. You like the old school days where we used to clean our cars for a week and pick the girl up?
Great question.
Or are you I'll meet you at the restaurant girl, or you can come by and pick me up in your, your whatever car you got?
It depends how I know the person,
right.
But in general, I was raised very conservative, very traditional, so I do like a lot of that old-fashioned stuff.
Okay.
That will always resonate with me. So, but also it depends where I meet him. If he doesn't already know where I live and it's the first date, I'd rather just meet him there. I think.
I'm sure you're in some gated community and it's hard to get to.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm just kind of but that's later dates. I don't need. But also, in order to get that first date, that would take. I'd have to already kind of like you,
Okay.
I'd already have to, talk to you.
You have to have a rapport. You have to have a rapport.
And we have to have a lot of things in common.
Right.
I need to be able to hang with you. I prefer someone that's funny, smart. I need to have a good conversation, and that type of thing. Similar values and goals and things like that. So. Those things will get you the second date as well.
Okay.
If you double down on it.
Older or younger? Would you go younger?
I would go in both directions.
Okay.
I would go in both directions.
All right.
Sure.
It's amazing. Some gals are really stuck on it's got to be older. I don't know. I mean, that's so 1970s. It's amazing. But.
Well, I've always been that way to where I really care about the person and what they're about. You meet some people that are a lot older and have no maturity level or have no kind of direction. So, that doesn't necessarily mean better.
Okay.
So, and then reversely, you have some people that are younger, but, they have some direction and you can just talk to them really well. So it depends. I'm good. It's about the person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what have we learned so far, guys? That on the first date, if she meets you at a restaurant, that's not a strike against you. It's just quite frankly the way a lot of things done nowadays. Okay. Next thing is bad restaurant. Say Danny Vegas picked a bad restaurant.
Ooh, what do you mean by bad though?
I don't know.
No, yeah, specific.
Maybe you don't like a certain I'm not a.
Should have asked before, no?
Oh well, that's because I don't have a good enough rapport yet. Now you see, back in the day when I was a dater, I was a rapport guy.
Okay.
In other words, I would know more about you. I wasn't a guy that could roll into some club somewhere and work
No club
magic.
guys. Don't be like
I
super
couldn't work
club.
any magic there. I kind of had to kind of know. I'll tell you a secret. If I was in college and I wanted to date a girl, I would wait till the last day, so that if I asked her out and she said no, I didn't have to come see her 3 times a week in the classroom. But
How did you get married? Like, what happened?
a green card's a very powerful aphrodisiac. Oh boy. Anyway.
Shut up.
Good thing my wife doesn't watch the show. But it's been almost 20 years. So, but anyway,
Nice,
but I was a
good.
rapport guy. I kind of miraculously learned before the internet, would learn something about the gal before, and then I would set the date up for that.
Okay.
If she was like the fights, then I would get, if she liked pro wrestling, I'd make sure we go to a pro wrestling match or something. That's the kind
Okay.
of guy I was. I kind of get a rapport, and you're kind of the same way.
Yeah.
You know.
You need to now it's vibe. You have to
Yeah.
vibe right.
You have to vibe right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So bad. So Danny Vegas takes you to a bad restaurant. Does that strike? That means no second date. If did I mess up? I messed up on the restaurant, so no second date.
Again, what do you mean by bad restaurant? Was it like just food that I'm not picky with food, so that wouldn't necessarily be
Maybe
a strike.
bad service. We had to stand
your fault,
around
though.
too much. I'm stressing because, oh my God, she's in these heels and she's been standing here for 45 minutes.
Wow.
Stuff like that.
I don't blame people for things that aren't their fault.
Right.
In general, and like I was saying with flips, like I use the logical side of me a lot more. So just kind of like if something was truly your fault, you didn't care to ask, you should ask. Like, hey, is Italian good? Is this place good? Yeah, that's good. Like that kind of back and forth would be ideal. Instead of just like, hey, we're going to meet this way, no input whatsoever.
Because here's the deal: every woman's different. Some women don't like that. They just want, hey, you're dating me. I want everything set up.
No, hold on. No, but you notice what happened there? You still picked it,
Right.
But you just kind of allowed confirmation,
Right.
Wasn't it? So you still took charge. You still
Right.
picked it. You were still a gentleman about it, but also considerate. So
Right.
that's a 2-part system.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Do you like? Here's another one. Do you go to the strip? I mean, do you dine on the strip? Do you shop on the strip? As locals, I don't go down there unless I got to, right? How about you?
I do. So I'm both. I mostly don't go to the strip.
Right.
I love that we have a world-renowned best chefs, Iron Chefs, best
Right.
entertainment. So I'm really proud of that. But at this point, I've done a lot. Like I've seen all the Cirque shows. I've done all that. I have my favorite restaurants. Shout out to Yellowtail. Shout out to
Is it still
the
out
Bellagio.
there?
Yeah.
Is it still there?
Awesome.
Okay. all right.
So shout out to different places. But for me, I like a lot of neighborhood spots are awesome. A lot of like strip brought to your local area
Right.
is what's going on a lot right now, like in neighborhoods, especially like as construction continues to move forward. So that's really fun for me. A lot of
Okay.
local spots. So you'll find me doing that more often than the strip, but I'll still go to the strip, and I love that we have that.
All right. For all you locals, here we go. Summerlin or Henderson?
Summerlin.
Summerlin. Okay.
And I lived in Seven Hills when I first moved here.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a good, oh my gosh, I can already hear the hate from like Henderson people. Please
No
let me finish.
emails, thank you.
Do not. And then from a real estate standpoint, I'm not supposed to give my opinion, but I only said that because that's now where I live.
Okay.
And I lived in Seven Hills when I first moved here. So they're very similar, and they're anchored, by the same things, Green Valley Ranch, Red Rock, and all of that. So I can go into further detail from a real estate standpoint, but to me, they are very, very similar, and they have they have pros and cons to both. For example, Henderson, you're closer to the airport if that's what's important to you.
Right.
So things like that.
Okay.
So, but personally, I live on the west side of town.
Okay.
So that's why I said that.
I'm a West Sider too by about a mile. I live in the old Charleston corridor over there, which is some great flipping opportunities in that area. Still, just in case you need to know, Gady. Okay, we got about a minute left in segment 3. All right, so all you guys out there, you want to step up to the big leagues. We know what to do now, right? Okay, so don't say that I don't try to help a brother out. Okay, let's get into segment 4, and we'll be right back right after this.